So I have to constantly go through my shadow first in order to sit and paint. So I just had to do that and sit, like move through your shadow so you can even talk about this one. Otherwise you'll have to think. I don't know if you guys are thinking, but I'm not right now. And that's kind of sweet. So these guys, Tayama learned this the other day too. It's when you link into spirit, whatever that looks like to you, it doesn't have to be a certain word. Definitely not a religion in my case. I'm not one for rules, but I do like spirituality for me. And at first it was a creek, and then it was a tree in a creek, and then it was the apples from the tree. And then it was my cat when I realized everything has its own essence and you don't just say cat. At 5 o'clock, cat eats. I was like, what is cat thinking actually? That's the spirit of all, where we actually have thoughts and conditions inside. And sometimes people speak on behalf of something that they think they should say, but their spirit's longing to say something else. And we don't really love that, because you go away and think, man, I shouldn't have said that. But the point is, when you can link in how you speak, this is us, humanity, to how spirit sees you. Because at the end of the day, you kind of, as long as you've had a good day and you think you've done a good job, you know you're cool. Like you're like, man, I'm kind of a cool guy or girl. And then spirit's like, yeah, you are. And I want to talk about why. And so you kind of go at the end of the day, and I have this now because of this painting, and I hope you all can too. At the end of each day, no matter how your day was, how the traffic was, how your girlfriend or boyfriend was, or whatever, or maybe your cat. For me, because I've been single for kind of a long time, so there's a lot of the time it was my cat. However it was, but that's not a bad thing. Just know at the end of the day that you're privileged to being yourself. So when you link at the end of the day, you're like, man, I had a rough day. And you lay in your bed and spirit swoops in, your soul opens up and says, but you're fucking cool, man. So that's like, they don't have a title, but this one would be called, you're fucking cool, man. So I probably want to give this painting to everyone here. Like, you're fucking cool, man. Here's the painting. But I only have one, so I guess whoever the coolest person is would like to have that one. But you can guys kind of have a competition about that, because you'd probably all be winning. Okay. So we're almost done. Except for the big guys coming next. That's actually the star of the show, but you'll see in a second. But we gotta anchor in all these psychic realms first. I don't know. This might be my favorite one, but I might have already said this. As you see, it's a psychic telephone. Hurrah. I painted this with Tayama, because even though she was just like fleeting around and like working and stuff, but she gave me some paint. And then I used it and it was beige, but then it was like spotty, because it was just a bit of a cheap paint, no offense, but you're like, I have some cheap paint, and I was like, I can work with that. And then I did this like Pinterest style like wash over it, and I was super proud. And I told everybody, I was like, hey, ta-da, look, I did it like this. And he was like, that's cool. And so I guess the point is that all of your creations, even if you're like, I'm a little bit fucking this up, because I was like, man, this paint, although I do love that color, it's not fluid. So you just add more, and then you like go with it, like mess it up even more on purpose, and then just be proud of it. And the point is like not to do that with malicious intent, but like in a painting, it's a perfect example to just be like, this is really messed up. Like, this is not looking good. And then you just make everything look equally not good. And then somehow it's amazing. And I see that in art all the time. But what about in our friendships? Like, it's kind of hard to make an example, but I got one. Between Tayama and I, like sometimes we just need to laugh. And other times, like yesterday, I fell apart a little bit, knowing some stuff about my family that was hard to deal with. And she just fell away from laughter while I went into like, because laughter is kind of perfect, where you're like, this is just a perfect moment. And then 2 minutes later, I was like, I'm not okay. And she just moved into, I'm not okay with you until you're okay. And you can't really find balance in that and apologize. Like, yes, now she's not okay with me, but I kind of needed a friend. So that's imperfection towards back to laughter. So I'm saying it was beige, didn't really go that good. I wasn't really laughing. And then Tayama gave me the white paint, and then I just messed it up a bit more. And then she said, is it good now? And I went, yeah. And then I painted this, and then we went back to laughter. So it's like that dip where you're like, but I've been so spiritual and I meditate all the time and I'm doing really great on my bills. Why am I falling apart? probably from something from the past that we have to deal with. So just that honoring when you can be like, who's the homie that can hold me in that? That day was Tayama, but may you all have Tayama in yourself, where you forgive yourself. Like, I had a really great day. I was on point for everyone all day, cooking for them, cleaning for them, working for them. And then at home, I just realized I'm not feeling too good. So may you, in your own psychic telephone, know that you have space for that with friends and with yourself. So that's beautiful. And I think that's why it's my favorite one, because I really needed that a lot lately at Fantasy Cabin. Just to a little bit have more fun and then tell Tayama, like, I'm kind of going through it. But she held me so well, and I'm excited for our breath session just after. So that's that one. And I feel like I've done all of them, but I think this one's chiming. Did I do this one yet? No? Okay. Cool. So it's, you know what? I don't even know what this one means yet. So I'm going to sit here and talk, and hopefully you can hear me, because I'm going to receive it with you and sit next to Jessie. Oh yeah, I remember. This one means virtue. So virtue to thoughts and the ability to choose. So this life has given us a lot of choices, and we can choose up or we can choose down. We can choose to think that someone's thinking judgmental thoughts about us, or we can assume that they're just having a bad minute and I'm just on the other side of their cloud. Like, oh, she just went quiet, but I'm sure she's not mad at me. And then she comes out and you go, hi, are you back? Yeah. Are you feeling better? Yeah, me too. Okay, let's go play by the creek. Or whatever it is. But the psychic telephone and the line across the top is kind of like stop. So the circle kind of turns into a head, like a human face, head, where your brain is at the top. And at the very top there, you know, spirit or whatever you call it, your soul, says stop. And that stuff at the top just goes back up to spirit. So all your anger, your grief, and your unbliss about whatever your shadow, because we still have to move through shadow, which is just bullshit. But we do, right? Maybe you like went into traffic and somebody yelled at you. That happened to me recently, and I was so happy until that happened, and then suddenly you're back into shadow. So spirit goes, okay, I'll take the top off your head for you as you continue the day, and you start to wind down. That's what your soul wants you to know. I'm doing that on the sidelines. Like, how did I just like gratify to feeling better somehow? The magic of the soul. But when you link into this prayer, as I did, it just goes faster. Boom. Straight into your heart. So that's that one. And then now, it's the star of the show. And you guys have watched me paint this one all week. And so your souls are very much talking into it. And it's a piece, as I told Tayama, that would live not, you know, like in a closet, which sounds weird, but if you had a psychic telephone painting in your life, you could put it anywhere where you think that there's grief or suffering.